It's 11:47 at night. Your phone is still glowing blue against your face. Your dog climbs halfway onto your chest, plants one paw just under your collarbone, and starts again. Slow, rough licks across your knuckles, then your wrist, then that salty strip of skin between your thumb and palm. You pull your hand away. 2 seconds later, the tongue finds it again. The sound is tiny, wet, repetitive, and you already have the obvious explanation in your head. Your dog is kissing you because your dog loves you. That sounds reasonable, but if this were only affection, why do so many dogs go straight for the places where your body leaks the most information? Your hands, your face, your ankles, your sweat. Because the real answer is bigger than love. It reaches into stress chemistry, pack survival, and even DNA. Soren, most dog owners have no idea. One of the first clues came from the University of Naples Federico II in 2018. Researchers exposed 40 pet dogs to human odor samples collected during fear and happiness, then watched how the dogs behaved in a room with their owner and a stranger. The dogs didn't react to your emotions like background noise. Fear odor changed everything. More stress behavior, more owner seeking, more scanning, more social checking. In other words, your dog isn't just looking at you. Your dog is reading you the way you read a text from someone you love and instantly know something is wrong. So when that tongue keeps finding your wrist after a brutal day, it may not be asking for attention. It may already know you need something. But that still doesn't explain why licking feels so persistent, so automatic, she's so hard for them to stop. That's where a word you almost never hear outside science matters. Social buffering. It sounds cold. It isn't. It means one nervous system borrowing safety from another. Emotionally, it's the biological version of hearing here without a single word. Scientifically, it's a feedback loop of contact, attention, chemistry, and calm. Azabu University showed just how deep that loop goes in 2015. Researchers measured urinary oxytocin in 30 dog-owner pairs before and after interaction, then compared them with hand-raised wolves and their human caretakers. In dogs, longer affiliative interaction, especially that intense close contact behavior. Dogs are built for raised oxytocin in both species. In wolves, the same loop produced essentially nothing. Zero, same room, similar social experience. Completely different result. That means your dog isn't just expressing emotion. Your dog is trying to change emotion. To settle yours, to settle its own, to keep the bond chemically alive. Your dog's licking is not just a sign of love. It is a tool for regulating a two-species nervous system. And that raises a bigger question. Where did a behavior that intimate even come from? To answer that, you have to go back more than 14,000 years to Bonn Castle in what is now Germany. Archaeologists found a dog buried with two humans, a man and a woman. Later analysis suggested the dog had survived severe illness long enough that someone almost certainly kept it alive through repeated, hands-on care. Not useful care, costly care. The kind you give because a bond has already formed. Long before your dog was licking lotion off your hand on the couch, wolf pups were licking around the mouths of adults to trigger regurgitated food. It was a survival behavior, a close contact, face-directed act tied to need, trust, and response. Over generations, as the animals that stayed close to humans survived better, that ancient gesture changed. It softened, it widened. It moved from feed me and don't hurt me to stay with me, notice me, we're okay. Not overnight. Across thousands of years, selected, built, shaped. And it turns out this isn't just behavior. It's written into their biology. In 2017, researchers at Princeton compared dogs and wolves and found structural differences in genes linked to hypersociability, including regions near GTF2I and WBSCR17, the same genomic neighborhood associated in humans with unusually strong social drive. Short version, some dogs are biologically tilted toward your face, your hands, your presence. The urge to seek you out is not a personality quirk layered on top. For many dogs, it's part of the blueprint, which creates a paradox. If licking is about attachment, then the most secure, content dogs should lick the most. But that isn't always what you see. Sometimes the dogs who lick obsessively are the anxious ones, the over-aroused ones, the dogs who can't settle. That sounds like it breaks the whole story. It doesn't. It deepens it. Beheerist stress work in the Netherlands in the late 1990s showed that dogs under social and environmental stress increased behaviors like lip licking and other displacement signals. Same motion, different state. So licking can mean comfort, but it can also mean an attempt to create comfort when comfort is missing. That's why context matters more than the tongue itself. Soft eyes, loose body, leaning into you, slow pauses, bonding, dilated pupils, panting, pacing, repetitive frantic licking with no settling. Regulation under strain. The deeper truth is this: licking is not one message. It's one tool used in different emotional emergencies. But how deep does this actually go? In 2022, researchers at Queen's University Belfast and collaborators tested whether dogs could detect stress from human breath and sweat alone. They collected samples from people before and after a stressful mental arithmetic task, then trained 4 dogs to identify the stress sample. The dogs did it with striking accuracy. The measurement here matters. They weren't reading your face, your voice, or your posture. They were reading volatile compounds, tiny chemical traces your body releases when your internal state changes. So the rough, little lick on your wrist may begin before you speak, before you cry, before you even know what mood you're in. Sometimes your dog is responding to chemistry. Your body has already confessed. There's one last thing you need to hear, and it might be the most important part of this video. If your dog suddenly starts licking far more than usual, don't romanticize it too quickly. Watch for patterns. Repeated licking of one paw, air licking, lip smacking when no food is present, nighttime pacing, sudden fixation on fabric, floors, or one patch of skin, pulling away, then returning to lick again and again without relaxing. That can point to anxiety, nausea, allergies, pain, dental problems, even gastrointestinal discomfort. Well, the behavior may still be social, but it may also be the only alarm your dog has, because your dog cannot tell you something feels off. There are no words, no complaint forms, no obvious speech. There's only behavior. So go back to that scene. It's 11:47 at night. Your phone is still glowing blue against your face. Your dog climbs onto your chest, puts that paw just under your collarbone, and starts licking your knuckles, your wrist, that same salty strip of skin between your thumb and palm. And now you know that moment may contain far more than a kiss. It may be an ancient survival gesture reshaped by domestication, a social buffering loop trying to calm 2 bodies at once, a genetically primed bid for closeness, a response to chemicals rising off your skin, or sometimes, a quiet sign that your dog needs help and has no other language. Same tongue, same hand, completely different meaning. If you want more videos that make your dog's smallest behaviors suddenly make sense, subscribe and tell me in the comments, morning or night,